Yoey, nerdy, good morning.
We're back.
Chat, good morning.
We're
Welcome
back.
back to the ranked playoffs. Nerdy mentioned we were both wearing blue today. Definitely not planned. And I feel like if there's any color, I don't know if blue I would say is the most common color to like wear. Because like if you think of like cars are like mostly like what, like gray, black, white. Like they're like very disproportionately. Like you don't see many people rocking around with like a green car, Like maybe that's a bad thing. Maybe we need to start that wave of
Right.
like more rainbow acceptance in the car community. Not in like that sort of sense, but just in like okay. But like it's not the same with shirts, and I feel like blue's a very common shirt, at least in my wardrobe, but I also just like the color blue. So I don't know. Anyways,
I like blue. I like purple, but that's not a very common color to wear. So I like blue.
yeah,
It's a
purple I
good
feel like is
substitute.
definitely harder to wear.
Yeah.
But also if you don't really go outside, it doesn't really matter what you wear anyways. And I'm not saying
True.
that would
So
apply to
based.
you, but that would apply to me.
So true.
Um,
So true.
yeah. Anyways, we are on day 2 of the bracket. We can actually throw it over the bracket right here for a second to just see what we're looking at. Beautiful stuff from round 1. Unfortunately, all 4 of our qualifier players, Nerdy, they gave it their all yesterday. Unfortunately, their all just wasn't enough. Combined, collectively, individually, however you want to slice it and dice it, we are down to our top 12, and it's the top 12 that auto-qualified to the rank bracket, which I guess means that the face point system did a pretty good job if the 4 qualifier players couldn't crack any of the 9 through 12. If that's one positive thing, one outlook is that I guess the leaderboard does a good job at being a leaderboard, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. I mean, if we take a look here, uh, I'm excited for every single match we got going on today. I think all these are going to be super great. We got Automat and Vstrid up first, which, I mean, we talked about it, right? We talked about it before, but Automat picked Vstrid partially because in order to get the revenge, right? In order to make up for the previous season uh, getting knocked out. And so I think, the storyline is writing itself here.
Yeah, Automat got 3-0'd by Vstrid in round 2. So same round matchup as well, same
Wow.
best of 5 situation. Vstrid took a 3-0, and it's brutal, almost more so in round 2 than in round 1, because if you get not in this bracket per se, because you're just getting to the quarterfinals, but back in last season, if you got to the semifinals, you could lose and still play for the 3rd place match and try to get some money out of it. But if you lose in the round of 8, you don't have that safety net, and it's just over.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Automat trying to knock it. I mean, definitely trying to win the series, but as long as he doesn't get 3 out, it'll be a better result than last season. So it'll be a banger match to start us off. And then we have Ral versus Oxidiate. Definitely not who Ral was expecting to play. Not being able to pick actually who he wants to play, because Manji, Automat, and Beef Salad all go first. So
Yeah.
not what Ral's expecting, but at the end of the day, you're gonna have to play harder opponents later in the bracket. The top 4 seeds are just sitting there menacingly, and they get to pick who they want to play. So you don't even get a choice in the matter. So it's almost like Rao was sort of prepping himself for a potential quarterfinals matchup, just being picked like potentially the hardest player out of the 4 to play against. So I mean, maybe we'd see Rao versus Dougal. Maybe we're gonna see Oxy versus Dougal. Maybe Dougal picks somebody completely different. We'll just have to see at the end of today.
Absolutely. And yeah, so anyways, as I would, but yeah, just great matches overall. I mean, like I said, I'm super excited. I think it's going to be great. And I can't wait to get into it.
Yeah, I hope we get some seed 5s today, some double full of analysis segments, some nail biters. I mean, we had some nail biters yesterday. T seeds 2-3 second differences in completion. And we also had our fair share of deaths on seeds. Mismeasures with eyes, 2-1 series, pretty crazy. But first match
Back to
today,
back, yeah.
Automat versus Vstrid. Let's throw into the player cards real quick just to see what the stats are looking like, matchups between the players. And we haven't seen Automat's stat card. He did not play yesterday. And that's a big number, Nerdy. I'm not gonna say the stats are wrong, because it's very possible that Automat and Vstrid just queue at the same time all the time.
Oh,
But
wow.
it looks like Automat has played 280 ranked games and 50 of them have been versus Vstrid.
Wow.
So that's almost a sixth, or more than a sixth, of his entire games in ranked. And it is possible, because a lot of the time when you're queuing ranked, especially when you're only queuing the top like 50 players, if you're in the top like 10, top 5, if you're Dougal level elo, which Automat has been in season 4, consistently been top 5, top 10 when I've checked the leaderboard. You're only playing those top 50, and obviously they're not all playing at the same time. So you're really only playing people that decide to queue at like kind of the same times every day. Like a lot of the times you'll watch someone queue ranked and they're playing the same 3 people, same 2 people, like on a stream, like 2-3 hours, like 6, 7, 8 matches against everybody. So it's very possible that Automat, very consistent guy, very scheduled guy, has his life together in a way, you know, like does things at a consistent time every day. I couldn't do that, but maybe he does that. And Vstrid just happens to line up with that time slot, and maybe a lot of other people don't. So Automat potentially has played 50 games versus Vstrid. And it's not looking the best for Automat. If you chop the zeros off of this win-loss, it's going to be a 2-3 best of 5, Nerdy. And I don't know. The numbers are there.
Yeah. I mean, you're a stats guy. You would know. Yeah, 40% win rate is not great. It's obviously not guaranteed anything bad. It's not like this is guaranteed to happen. But, basically, Vstrid is a formidable opponent here for Automat. But we'll have to see if Vstrid can make something out of this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, I think Automat does have the playoffs experience edge a little bit, has played in every playoffs, but has not made a top 3 yet. So this could potentially be his season, starting with a bye in the bracket as he was a top 8 seed, but he's got to run in a Vstrid. So let's throw it over to their player card and see what it's looking like. And yeah, Vstrid, I was going to say, I feel like I remember Vstrid having those 2000 matches, just the absurd ranked experience. And when you look at it from Vstrid's point of view, like, oh, 50 games versus Automat, but you've played 2,000. So, like, who really cares? But, like, still just a crazy number. And a win percentage looking very similar. Ranked average time, I think, was within 10 seconds for both players. Automat maybe like 11, 15 or something. So, I think the stats, apart from the win-loss versus opponent, very, very similar. And 50 games is a lot, but again, we're only playing 5 today, up to 5, and these are really the only 5 that matter. You could lose to someone 10 times in a row in the regular season, and if you just beat them 3 times in a row in the playoffs, you lock in. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, all that experience, practicing just within season 5 is absurd, and so. I mean, if you think about it, that's like 1,000 Minecraft seeds probably completed. I mean, I don't know how many of those are forfeit, related wins, but I think we can probably say around 1,000 completions this past season,
Which
at
is
least.
just crazy. That probably means like every tower has been 0 multiple
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Every type of tower, every diagonal, every straight, every situation, beds, crossbows, ground 0. Just the amount of experience just in the raw gameplay. And that's something that I always preach, is that I think practice obviously is great. I personally don't, but I like see the vision. I just get bored when I practice. I think the best practice is just playing. And if you have that, 'cause you're in the mindset, you're in the right zone when you're locked in, the elo's on the line, and 2,000 games of elo being on the line is just crazy. And so I think Vstrid might be able to take the series today just off the ranked experience over Automat. So we'll see.
We'll have to see. I mean, there's definitely. It seems like there's a statistical edge for Vstrid, but it could always go any direction. We've got a ban from Vstrid on the village and a ban onto the shipwreck, meaning that we're going to play a rune portal, a buried treasure, and a desert temple. Starting off.
Yeah. Very interesting that Automat's going to ban shipwreck and pick buried treasure. They do seem very similar. I guess a lot of mechanical difference in actually finding the iron. But I always get worried playing those ocean seeds that you could just get baited into a wrong ravine. We saw that happen a lot yesterday.
Right.
Runners losing. I think in worst case, Silver lost a minute and 10 seconds on a seed. I mean, definitely partially due to, I think, a shovel miscraft in the overworld, but was at the wrong ravine and was slower regardless. So that's just what worries me, as opposed to an enter like ruin portal overworld where you cannot physically miss the enter, because that's the whole point of the seed, or like a village or a desert temple when there's so many lava pools that it's also extremely hard to miss one. But like
Right.
one magma ravine, maybe no kelp, maybe the wrong side of the island. I don't know if I'd put my entire, or like an entire playoff seed on that RNG. But Automat's confident, especially after banning Shipwreck. He's confident.
Yeah, I mean, maybe trying to get the that seat out of the way, if you really didn't like it. But alternatively, I think there's a lot less decision making when it comes to buried treasure. At least as far as you have to find the shipwreck, right? Sometimes there's a buried treasure, so you might have to check for that first. There's also the possibility of having to, which is faster, like swimming out to it and then mining it there, or grabbing the iron, going back to the shore. So there's a lot of decision making that I don't know. Maybe people just like the linearity of the shipwreck or of the buried treasure a little bit more. It's a little bit, I mean, not easier necessarily, but just a little bit more.
It's just more comfy. It's just more
Yeah,
comfy.
and you also get more food,
Yeah,
more guaranteed food. So I,
that is
I don't know.
true.
I respect the call.
Pretty good loot from this BT as well. 8 food sources, some shears, no TNT, so not perfect. And we did see a 8 salmon BT yesterday, which is definitely rare food quality wise, but still very standard from both these runners. Probably going to see the exact same crafts coming out. Diamond sword, shears, full iron tools, all that stuff. Notably, no diamond sword for Automat, but I can't just craft that in the Bastion while you're, making your blaze bed. Definitely a misplay if he doesn't make one. But we'll see how these runners leave the island, if there's any visible kelp, where they'll be heading. And it looks like they're both heading towards the same ravine here. And this is just, like I said, this is just where it gets scary. Like, this ravine's fake. No, it does look real. Okay, commits to the real, but especially like you head a direction, you think it's fake, you don't know. Then if your opponent went the same way, then you start getting in your head about it, like, oh my god, I just lost so much time. But both head to the same real ravine. Surely this is at least one deep here. Does look a little scuffed, but yeah, it gets it 2 deep as well.
Beautiful stuff. Doing the 2x1, getting into
Yeah,
the
and
portal.
Vstrid saving a little bit of time mechanically. They're actually starting that portal second, but not whiffing on the fast water removal and cobble skip stuff. So Vstrid actually takes a slight lead into the nether. Doesn't matter now, but could matter in 5-6 minutes when we're heading to the stronghold, heading to the end. We'll see.
It looks like they already see the fortress, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, and now just heading over to the Bastion. Vstrid maybe
Yeah.
taking slightly better train. It's very close. I know, actually, it looks like Automat now
Automat a
pulling
little
ahead.
ahead, yeah. Vstrid
That's
chose to go
interesting.
right, which I think looked good, and then just the terrain
Yeah.
kind of fell off. They had to cut back left, and so it was just wasn't there. But Automat's going to be instantly sending a manhunt here. Vstrid going down as well, but again, just a little slower. That micro decision making.
And wow, taking a big hit there. But able to get the manhunt off regardless. Not a big deal. Taking some damage.
Yep, and both runners heading to the backup blocks. Call them backup
Um,
blocks nowadays, but if everyone grabs them, are they really backup blocks? If
that's
you're
that's
if you're
that's a
just if they're just
philosophical question
integrated
to
into
ponder.
every route. I mean, historically, you would call them backup blocks, and it's definitely possible that if you are grinding for any percent world record and you do enter manhunt, you don't grab those 3 blocks. But any top down route and any ranked route is always grabbing them. So are
That's
they
true
really
for Bridge on
backups?
the Chalice too. Like, would you call those backup blocks?
The chalice gold
Like
blocks?
that
If you're
that
like if you're
because you
not
only you
grabbing
you
all
only go for
16,
like 10 or something. If you're playing for world record. I feel like those are not backup blocks though. I don't know. Anyways,
heated Bastion gold debates. Vstrid might
well,
be
call it
done.
good.
No, not done with trades. Automat might be done with trades. 11 obsidian. All the top down chests still a check. Gonna pearl up. Nice pearl there, landed very high. Vstrid pearling up as well. Also nice pearl.
I like it.
We do have 4 chests up here. Is that 20? That is 10 obby in the triple, so 21 for Automat. Vstrid
Automat
21 as well. So Automat's out off of Pearl Hang. Vstrid also out off of Pearl Hang. Both heading the same way to the fort. Same terrain. Automat's just 1-2 pearls ahead.
Yeah.
And they're gonna both be
Now,
entering the fort at the
yeah,
same
look at
spawner.
this.
Yeah. And
Now they're
Vstrid, same,
together.
exactly same spot.
Wow.
Vstrid threw 1 extra pearl to catch up there at the end. So literally same spot. Same, oh my god, same blaze pad.
Wow.
Automat misplaced 1 soul sand, so it wasn't perfectly synced up, but it was very close. Only notable difference is Vstrid has soul speed boots on from either a chest or a trades, so is be able to build the soul sand slightly nicer.
This is hilarious.
But they're gonna get the same blaze spawns here, gonna portal at basically the same spot. So really, like, barring one of them throwing an eye and just it randomly goes into a wall, the other person doesn't. I think the only like chance we're gonna have for them to sort of separate is traveling to second portal chords. Because the spawner's gonna be standardized, the rates are gonna be standard. They only have 1 rod at this point, so they're gonna be at the spawner forever. Can pre-craft everything you need to pre-craft. Oh, I was trying to deal with a zombie piglin. And yeah, just they're getting the spawns at almost the same time, loaded the spawner within a second of each other.
Ooh, nice. You know, doesn't even look at his at his kill there for Automat as he gets returned to sender.
Let's see, yeah. On the stone shore for both of them. No preset up boat from either of them, and both measuring the eye at the same time. Just actually
Wow.
fully synced up players right now.
This is wild.
And they just have no idea that it looks so similar. Ooh, but Vstrid has to throw 2. That's a little bit of variance. It didn't break, but it's the time loss of having to throw 2. Not keeping the spawner loaded for as long. It's a very, very important 5 to 10 seconds.
Yeah, this it seems like it's gonna be absolutely critical here in this round.
Automat potentially on the last spawner cycle here. Not entirely sure how many rods he has, but 2 more blazes to kill. Might only need 1 or 2 more rods. Ooh, it does need 2 more rods. So Vstrid on the same spawner cycle right now. We're literally watching a delayed version of the same run, basically, only because of that eye measurement. See,
And I will
can
say,
Automat
I
leave
do.
on this? He does. So Automat's confident leaving on this.
No.
Must have 6 rods. Vstrid's going to be able to do the exact same thing. Yeah, gets the last rod and is able to just leave. And now it's about that terrain nav. Ooh. Oh, Vstrid scary pearl, but is able to pearl clutch down. And it looks like Automat's found some open terrain and Vstrid's digging through the wall here. But they're actually both in very similar spots. If you look at the coordinates, Automat just found some upper terrain. Automat's 40 Y levels above right now, which is good for getting to chords, but you're going to have to dig down at the end here. And if Vstrid's close, we'll see. Automat looks to be like 30 blocks ahead on the X, maybe 25. But is, again, behind on the dig down here, so Vstrid's going to get to these chords as Automat's digging on them, and they're going to start building the portal at very similar times. 2 Y levels of difference. Oh my god.
And there's the portal light.
And Vstrid's in first, literally maybe 1 or 2 seconds. Stream the light, no, it's the same time. And now you know, you look in chat, you see the I Spy at the same time. The nerves. You
every
have to
single
first shot the preemptive.
Including the one, the
Automat first
measuring
tries
split.
it. Vstrid's there. Both runners need a hunger reset. Automat's just a couple seconds ahead. He's got to craft some eyes still. That could be the difference maker. Same time! Same time! Oh my god! Same time! It's going to come down to rotations. If it's 0, well, it is. Who's going to go higher? 95 for Vstrid, 95 for Automat. It's going to come down to double beds. Damage. Automat going for it right away. 2 beds, half HP.
That might be it.
Vstrid, bow and hotbar. Another double. Bed breaks for Vstrid. It's over. What a clean 0. Automat takes the first seed. Oh my god.
Wow. That was
cinema.
That was like the best 0 cycle we've seen all day.
My life is a movie, and I mean it. Like, what is that? What is that?
That was... He went for it, and he needed to. Well, I guess he didn't, because... But...
Two double beds in a row. 3 rotations only from Automat Vstrid. Even if the bed didn't break, it was over.
Yeah.
And what an insane C1. Dude, look at the splits!
I know, every single split!
The most time difference ever! 3 seconds! Are you kidding? Are you serious?
Even within the Finding Stronghold split, which is like... Yeah. It doesn't even matter. That one can be like 10 seconds.
Are you kidding?
Not necessarily any different. That is wild. Absolutely wild.
Okay, they're not going to all be like this today. I would like to give a little asterisk at the top. Not all the seeds today are going to be this good. We're bound to have a seed where someone's going to eat shit in the Bastion and it's going to be boring for 6 minutes, okay? But I'm so happy that we got this. A seed 1 today. What a way to set expectations. Oh my god.
Yeah,
they were doing just the same thing the whole time.
Their decision making was just so similar.
Like the only thing in my head that was different is like, okay, Vstrid had to throw 2 eyes instead of 1. And so that's just unlucky, I guess, off of like offsets, because you're not gonna throw the eye at like the same exact pixel. I mean, I guess they literally could have, because their portals were in the same spot. So if they did decide to like corner wedge in the same spot, they could have thrown the eye at the exact same location. But the only other thing that I think was different is Automat pearled off of like the front of the Bastion to get up, and then Vstrid went off the side. It's like a decision that doesn't matter at all, but that's genuinely like the only thing
I would say
that I noticed that was that different. And then Vstrid like took 1 wrong turn in the stronghold. Like in that 4-way, like did like a 1 second loop right. And then like it instantly went back to the 4-way, and then he found the portal room. That was like literally the only difference in the whole scene. I guess they did actually go to second portal chords actually completely differently. Now that I'm like thinking about it again. It was just, I look at the splits, it was so close, but they did. Oh my god.
Yeah, the Diamond Sword Iron Axe too was something I noticed.
Oh, did Automat not? I was too zoned in on the pace being so similar. Did Automat not use a Diamond Sword at all?
He used Iron Axe, yeah.
Okay, I mean, in that specific situation when you're just sort of stuck at the spawner, it doesn't really matter too much. If that was like a strays, very like SSV stray heavy seed, right? Like Diamond Sword definitely significantly better for
right
dealing with wither skeletons, magma cubes, all that jazz. But we're on a room portal. A seed that you would think would be, more linear, maybe more like close of a seed than most seed types, but I don't think it's really even physically possible to get a closer match than what happened on the last seed. I don't know if it's possible.
I mean, hey, I believe. I feel like if any seed were to be as close as the last, it would be a ruined portal.
There are honestly potentially more decisions in a ruined portal overworld, though. I think the buried treasure one is maybe more like brain RNG random. Yeah.
Theoretical sense, if
like you could just miss the ravine. Yeah. Like if you don't have to make any food decisions, oh, this one might be ugly. Yeah, this is ugly. Oh my god, 2 stacks of iron nuggets, but we got to make a bucket. We got to finish this. Oh my god, ugly. No axe, no food. This is the scrappy ranksy that I'm here for. No insta fashion, no 10 obby blacksmith, no 30 iron BT. I'm here for the room portal, no obsidian completable, bucket, crying obsidian in the way. I'm here for this. I'm here for this.
This is what you like to see, Feinberg.
This is what I like to see. Shears play coming out from Vstrid and Automat. Where are they going to get their food? How are they going to complete this crying obsidian portal? Don't see any animals in the plains just yet. Could grab a lava bucket on the way as well to kill mobs faster. Definitely pretty clutch for everything but the chicken. This chicken like dies too quickly with the lava bucket. It's pretty jank. But we got some good pigs. Some good pigs here. And where's the water as well? This is like a river biome with no water. So might have to find a water pool or run farther away. But these runners are somehow gonna find a way to enter at the same time anyways. This is just what's gonna happen. They're just gonna find a way. You're gonna see somebody get to the completed room portal first and start building it first, and then they're gonna choke something, and it's gonna be very similar. Because that's just what they do.
A lot of food. I mean, he has 12. He got 12 pork chops and 1 cooked chicken. I feel like that is
Vstrid might have
excessive.
9 or 7. Yeah. I can't really tell. 9, yeah. So I mean, maybe you just kill one more pig. It's on the way, and it drops 3. So I don't know. It's really only 1 pig up.
Sure.
But wow, no, Vstrid actually is a little significantly ahead here. More significant than anything in the last seed combined.
Yeah, I know.
A whole 8. Oh my god, look, gravel cascade. Is Automat gonna fall for the trap? That gravel's gonna fall.
Here we go.
Do not jump out of the portal. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Definitely not something that these runners should do. Yeah. If they're disciplined enough, they won't fall for that, but you do have to be locked in. It is something that just rarely ever happens. I'm gonna have to hit a speed bridge as well over the lava here with leaves. So it's definitely possible to get completely RNG. I think your leaf could insta burn if you get like terrible random ticks. You just place it and it burns under your feet. But doesn't happen for either runner. And it looked like Automat was maybe gonna go under for the Bastion here, but gonna go up. Vstrid just again 5, 10, maybe 15 seconds ahead here. Automat taking a little more time than usual on the E-Ray aspect of the seed. But it's a top-down housing, so both runners gonna have access to the same chests. Same, hopefully, number of piglins on the route. But I don't think we have any indication of where the fortress is yet. So we're going to be seeing Pyre in the middle of this route somewhere. And I do think it's very interesting as the meta has evolved and as runners have gotten faster and more like sort of autopilot-y in these bastions, kind of like what we were talking about yesterday. There's been more developments on things you can actually do in the bastion. Obviously, I think one of the first overlaps that was ever thought about and sort of done is like pyring in the bastion as it like while the trades are happening, as opposed to sort of having to wait till they're all done and then sort of just doing pyre as its own split. But now you can see more overlaps, like just full inventory clears, potential pre-crafts for 0, right? Pre-crafting a blaze bed, getting like an iron axe out, a bow for double beds if you need it, and there's no crossbone chest. So there's a lot of extra things that make the bastions more mechanical than they might seem. You know, 2 runners that can finish the route at very similar times, leave the bastion at similar times. Maybe one overlapped a lot more than the other and has a lot of extended time save that sort of got pushed back to the fort split from what they did in the bastion. So I think it's very interesting stuff still to watch.
Absolutely. As we had 17 pearls, which is not bad at all. It is maybe a little short of what you'd ideally want, but Vstrid here getting chased down by a piglin.
2 pearls into the bastion though, or into the fort. Vstrid struggling with the Pyre. Automat actually taking a pretty commanding lead out of the bastion.
Yeah.
Vstrid finds it, but slower.
And that was after
he entered
Vstrid had
faster.
a commanding lead. Yeah, exactly. Uh, this
So
fortress
much
is
scrappier than last seed. And Automat finding a couple strays here in the bad part of the fort. On the way to the good part. Pearl hung for the strays as well, too. Very smart play.
now they're both killing blazes once
Runners.
again at the same
Yeah.
time.
Might be at the same spawner, but Automat's got more strays here than Vstrid does. And also might have more pearls. I feel like I saw a stack in his inventory that had more than one in it. Like we know Vstrid only had 17 pearls. I feel like Automat's got at least a couple in the reserves. Yeah, he's got a full second stack of 16 in the reserves here. So if Vstrid potentially missed trades or maybe just has a stack that we didn't see in their inventory. We'll see on this craft here. We're gonna watch this inventory. Nope, yeah, a second stack there. So must have picked up at the very end of the trades. And both runners on 5 rods. Vstrid measuring first. Gets an eye break, but is confident on the one eye. Automat is pre-crafting more things, has a lot of beds, and is actually waiting for potential more blaze spawns before he measures. Vstrid needs one more rod. And Vstrid's at a non-blaze bedded spawner, but is using this time to overlap crafting.
There we
Very
go.
close. That's 400 distance on Automat's Nimbot. So maybe one pearl and we're at chords already. Potentially perfect terrain. Automat getting a blaze bed out. Yeah, Vstrid lost a spawn cycle there. But Automat,
Wow.
it's so unclear. I think Automat's not going to be able to leave off that blaze. No, I think he needs one more rod. Maybe the blaze down here. Ooh, fast spawns there. Vstrid doesn't get a rod. Automat doesn't get a rod. Has one more blaze, but it's so awkward. A much more unclear situation than last seed. I will say that much. Automat doesn't get the rod. And both these runners have everything pre-crafted. Automat makes a gold pick, but I think they're so close to chords. Is Vstrid gonna be able to be out off of this? Needs one more rod off this blaze? Yes, Vstrid's out. Automat, I think still needs 2. Gets that spawn cycle. But Vstrid's already building second portal basically at chords.
I mean, yeah, we're just going back and forth this entire seed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Automat's going though.
not too far behind at all.
And Automat found better lower terrain here. Was able to insta-pro on the lower terrain, so it's
Wow.
actually saving a lot of time on the second portal build here. Made up a ton of time on that
Yeah,
terrain
now
going
look.
lower. And they're
We're
just
both in the portal
2-3
animations at
seconds
the same time again.
made up an absurd amount of time there. Preemptive looks like a good spike top left. Oh, Automat's not in starter. He's maybe one room off.
And it looks like they're going different directions.
They are.
So this could be very defined. And
Through a
wow, and look
cave,
at
Automat
that.
finds it.
Wow.
Needs to eat a pork chop here for inventory management or food management. Overlaps with crafting eyes. Found
And
that
that's
spike
it.
through it. What is this end? This looks ugly. Oh, no pearl clip.
Is he gonna be able to make it? And here's Vstrid coming through the same
could
spot.
it could be ugly. He's gonna go for a side setup. I think he still gets there. It wasn't that bad. Yeah, it does still get there. So it might be over.
Wow.
Has a lot of beds as well from that pre-craft. Very nice side switching here, but it breaks the bed.
He
And he
does.
can't pull a clutch in time. Momentum too strong.
Okay,
It's down to
all
Vstrid now. Can he get the bed KB that Automat couldn't? Nice late second bed there. Nice late third bed there. This is the bed that Automat broke, and it's good.
And there it is.
Wow, a 5 bed on the side setup. The
Makes
not
up for the
quite 9
last row.
lives. Automat knows it's over.
Wow.
And we're tied up C2. Vstrid angers an Enderman, but not gonna matter.
Wait. In like not in playoffs, but like in ranked. If you did like did that as like bait to the other person, would that work? Do you think?
If
Does
you
that
did
get in
bait,
as a
I don't.
forfeit?
I don't think someone would forfeit though.
Okay.
Mid-0, I don't think you would forfeit.
Right. That
If
would
you
be
did
really funny.
not quite 9 lives. But a much scrappier seed. The splits on that Enter Fortress are the exact same, but definitely just because Automat must not have gotten credit for the Fort Enter until later. It was definitely
Yeah.
like ahead, leaving that Bastion, touching the Nether Brick, but just when you're in the bad part of the fort, it's a little bit weird with actually crediting you with the bounding box. But literally exactly even entering the stronghold, and Automat had better preemptive, just unfortunately choked the 0, didn't get enough KB on the beds, so the dragon ate the bed and then proceeded to knock him off the tower, but it wouldn't have mattered at that point. Vstrid hitting the 0 was over. And now we're down to a best of 3. If you look at it that way.
Wow. I mean, just crazy stuff. I mean, obviously not as close, I guess, in the sense that like not every split has the same
They weren't doing
low
the same
difference,
thing the whole time. Yeah.
but still exciting. I like the back and forth, maybe even more. Since I mean, for me personally, I think it's very interesting. I mean, that really was like a super back and forth type of seed. So great stuff overall. I'm excited to see where this series goes next. Because man, this has been fantastic so far.
Yeah, just a lot of decisions there that saved or lost each runner, 10, 15 seconds, and then they're somehow completely even again entering the stronghold. And then still, I mean, in that endgame split, more decisions, Automat faster preemptive, getting there early, but just not being able to close out the 0, which surprising, after watching the last seed, seeing how clean that 3 rotation 0 cycle was in seed 1, but just side setups, a little weird. Can't always get them done, but Fulham has given us the go-ahead. We are going to send it into our first mid-match analysis of the day. So let's see what Fulham has to break down that we potentially missed, and we will see you guys back here for C3 in just a bit.
Welcome back, everyone, to the mid-match analysis segment. Automat versus Vstrid, a very formidable matchup, one that has happened a lot throughout the regular season, 50 matches between the two players. And right now, we're seeing exactly why that is. A very, very interesting start to today's match, with Automat taking the first seed and Vstrid taking the second. In that first seed, there was very little for me to even be able to analyze, given the fact that these two runners were, as cliche as it sounds, neck and neck through every split. And we saw that by the very end. The very first difference that was really spotted, bar the different crafting or different entry locations, was this. The fact that Vstrid on their first eye throw, unfortunately, only got a 92% accuracy on his Ninja Brain bot here. So wanted to make sure that he had over 95% to definitely confirm that the stronghold was in fact there. So decided to throw 2 eyes rather than 1, which did prove to cause him a little bit of time loss. And of course, it was very beneficial for Automat. However, Vstrid was able to make back up that time by taking slightly different terrain to the second portal, and they entered the stronghold at the same time. As we can see, I just wanted to send it back to this exact point in the run, and even though they took slightly different paths here to get to exactly where the portal was, the fact that Vstrid was slightly lower on health meant that the hunger reset would take a tiny bit longer. Sorry, higher on health means that it would take a little bit longer, but then Automat had to craft eyes, whereas Vstrid had already made eyes, and we're talking almost tick perfect end entry at the exact same point. And this is just an unfathomable set of circumstances. They were basically neck and neck the entire run, right up until the very final beds. And I just wanted to, say how insane this seed was to watch. I hope you guys all enjoyed it as well. Obviously, these guys absolutely pushing themselves to their limits here, trying to eke out every extra second of damage, every extra rotation, maybe leave the beds a tiny bit later than what feels safe. And that's exactly, unfortunately, what Vstrid ended up having to do. Taking a little bit extra time to try and deal a tiny touch extra damage. And unfortunately, the dragon did break the bed because it didn't quite get enough knockback. And that did mean that Automat was able to finish out the seed with 2 amazingly well-timed double beds using the crossbow. That seed was absolutely fantastic. It was an unreal set of circumstances. And again, I just wanted to bring up those splits. Unreal how close these guys were. 0 seconds, 3 seconds at most was the difference between these 2 runners. It was fantastic. A really, really intriguing first seed. And the second seed wasn't quite as close, but there were definitely points in the run where they were both insanely, insanely close. However, at the very start of the run, when we're heading towards the Bastion, Vstrid did have a decently substantial lead, maybe 10, 15 seconds. Around about 6 or 7 of that was from the overworld, just getting things done faster, taking, I think, maybe 3 less pork chops into the nether, allowing him to get into this Bastion decently faster than Automat, maybe a 10-15 second advantage here, allowing him to loot these chests with some comfort and making sure that he can do a good top-down route. On the other hand, though, by the time we're leaving the Bastion, it was Automat who was in the lead by a few seconds. Again, not quite getting the advancement here, so it didn't show up on the splits, but was definitely out of the Bastion sooner. Maybe just not quite on a technicality in the fortress earlier. Notice he's still not got the achievement as of right now, but he's still in the fortress, loading those blaze spawns. And in fact, Vstrid technically gets the advancement a few ticks earlier. And then it did come down to, in the very end, pun not intended, the 0 cycle and the stronghold navigation. Matt being 1 room off of starter, but confidently pearling down this location and finding the portal room through a cave allowed him to beat Vstrid into the end. However, unfortunately, due to a little bit of a weird overhang over the edge of the island, it was a little bit of a funky one. Tries to build up here a couple of times, not successful, doesn't hit the pearl clip, digs up 1 too many, tries to hit it, hits the side of the terrain, and the dragon is already pretty low at this point, but it is a very tall tower and goes for a side setup. Was almost perfect and does get there in time. A couple of fumbles on the way, but it did feel like Automat could see out this seed here, but potentially due to this bed being a tiny bit too early, it did not knock back the dragon quite enough, knocking Automat off and not pearling to the floor. He did have enough health points to be able to pearl, which is what is peculiar, but maybe it was a miss hotkey or... actually, I apologize. The pearl was thrown, but clearly due to client-server desync, the pearl did not land, maybe with the different knockback. And we then go to Vstrid's 0 cycle, a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more... time to be able to set this up using anchors rather than crying obsidian, going from the top down to the side setup. A much more comfortable 0 cycle here from Vstrid, using 5 explosives, only 5 beds, had 3 anchors set up as well, and that did allow Vstrid to do the mandatory not quite 9 lives GG and get the 1 seed apiece. You could see a Seed 5 in this one, and I can be back after Seed 4 to give you that final minute analysis if we do go to that extra time final seed. Let's hope that it happens. 1 seed apiece. I'm going to send you guys back over to Nerdy and Feinberg right now.
W analysis as always, and I hope we get a seed similar to Seed 1. Maybe it's potentially boring to watch the same thing twice, but I think it's hype, and maybe that's a cool take. Watching the small differences.
I don't think that's a cold take at all. Wait, no. Well, maybe a little bit of cold take, but
it's got to be like a little bit of both. There's got to be the really close seeds, and then it's sometimes exciting when one person just dies in the Bastion or dies in the fort. I will say it is sometimes exciting.
I think I am always.
Because then there's pressure. You know, the other runner, like, are they gonna choke?
I feel like there's no pressure. I feel like that's the problem. You know, because it's like.
Because they're so far ahead. Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Desert Temple, bang, W.
Now when they both die, that's kind of hype. Because then they both think that the other they're behind, and one of them's usually ahead.
That is true. The very rare double death playoff seeds, those are good.
But anyways, Desert Temple, exciting stuff. Feinberg's favorite, and honestly,
Yeah,
I
that
see
would
why.
be true. That would be true. Kind of like the Desert Temple. You get the TNT, you get the blocks, you get some food, even if it's bad, you know, rotten flesh. It gets the job done. Gets the job done. There's the temple. Lava pool on screen. Dark oak for wood. River right there as well. Beautiful stuff so far. Looking to be a very very clean, very linear overworld. Apart from, you know, maybe food situations, but that lava pool was kind of in a plains. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
And 30 gunpowder Feinberg. That's what my eyes are on here. How do you feel about that? Like
It's
what?
pretty good. I don't think they're gonna care as much though, which is a little
Oh.
sad. But
You
30
don't think-
gunpowder
I mean,
gets the job done.
you know,
I'm not
they
finding
could make some
nice
rockets.
flint to blow up. Or gravel to blow up, I guess. Same thing. Like looking for a good spot to do the CNT, it just really doesn't matter. As even if you get 14 logs, it's more than enough. And AA, that might be something to think about, you know, like you have
You know
to
what this
craft
reminds me of?
bookshelves later. What?
I think you're gonna
1.14?
know. This reminds me of 1.14, man. Oh
1.14?
man, that was
Did
so
you
hype.
ever did you ever do a lot of runs on 1.14?
I mean, I wouldn't say a lot, but I think I got a sub 30 maybe or something. I don't know. Actually,
Like
maybe that might be.
you blew up houses. That's how like unk status we're talking here. Not in a bad way. I was there.
I blew up. I remember Dark Oak. I remember I've blown up a Dark Oak.
Okay.
I've blown up. Yeah, I've blown up some houses in my day. You know. And it's I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed. I never did the any of the 1.15 stuff.
Well, that's less blowing up. That's more
Yeah, that's what I'm
monument
saying.
stuff. Scary. There's a boss in the monument. Did you know that? I don't even really know how they managed to
What?
do that. Yeah.
That is some crazy stuff. That
Look
is
at
some
this.
crazy stuff.
Completely different room, or not room portals. Lava pool enters. Automat finding one in the dark oak. Vstrid finding one in the desert, but they might. No, it looks like they're entering at the same exact place. And I do think that's actually standardized in rank nowadays. And no real food differences either. Vstrid didn't find any food in that plains, so Automat just a few seconds ahead entering the nether. That's it.
Here we go. We've got. Oh.
Ooh, Automat another
Wow.
return to sender.
He
2
just
for
says,
3.
and once again,
Yeah.
he's not looking. You know, doesn't care. He knows it's gonna hit. Why look at the gas if you just know it's gonna your shot's gonna hit?
Whenever the runners unfull screen their game and you see like the overlays in the background, like whatever they put in the dead space, I always just like to think that that's actually what they're seeing as well, and it's not just like the background of their like monitor, like whatever their like computer background is or whatever's behind it. I always like to think that that's just exactly what they're seeing also. So Tudor Rules just got the McDonald's images up. Automat's just looking at his face over and over again. That's just in my head. That's what I like to think.
I mean, that's you can believe that. I don't think there's anything wrong with believing that.
We got a treasure route coming out. I don't know if we've seen the fort for either runner, but both runners basically doing the same thing. Automat just a little shakier, maybe more pigs in the way, dealing with a lot of distraction gold already. And it's honestly a little bit scary and ranked, could potentially lose some pearl trades that you don't really know about until later. I mean, the pigs could throw it into lava if you get very unlucky, but a lot of those trades are just going to be sitting on the stairs, and maybe that's like one obsidian that Automat needs or one pearl trade that he's not going to go down and check that until leaving the Bastion, or potentially will never check it if pearling out the top of the Bastion. So has like 4 or 5 trades there of, pearls, fire res, obsidian, string that he could be missing that could matter a lot that Vstrid didn't have to deal with.
Yep. Checking up all of these. Getting a little unlucky here with this
Amount of
treasure.
gold, yeah. Vstrid grabbing one of the guaranteed backups on the right side. Another gold block in the chest, so looking a little better. But only 4 obsidian from these 2 singles. We'll see what the double has in store, but could be lower treasure angle, could be home portal angle. And there's some obsidian there. Is it 18 though? I think we might be fine from the trades. Ranked, I think, does boost the obsidian trades a little bit. So you always think like, oh, I have 12 obsidian, only trading a stack of gold, and then you somehow have like 25. So, and 19 obsidian from Vstrid, 25,
Yeah,
25, yeah.
We did have one seed once that was like correct to blind, right? In playoffs. I think one. Where it was like, or am I making this up?
I wouldn't say it's
Yeah.
ever correct to blind.
I remember there was something weird. It was like season 1. I don't know. Maybe I'm making this up. I think it was
It's like,
I don't know. I
your
don't
home
remember.
portal just has to be so inaccessibly bad.
Yeah, that's what it
And
was.
underground, it's like possible.
Yeah.
But I don't think that would.
I remember there being a blind in one of the playoffs. I think it was the first one. It was like, I don't even remember.
Yeah,
who
maybe
was
that would be the
playing.
only situation. What Fulham's saying in chat is if it was like one of those where it spawns you like on the nether roof above a lava lake and you have like no fire res, or like you physically can't pearl up there.
Yeah.
Definitely possible. But
Anyways,
both these
that's not
runners-
happening in this game.
Yeah. In the fort, Vstrid aggressively pearling to another spawner. I think it's the same spawner the Automat's at. And we are seeing Donut TNT from Automat, potentially from Vstrid as well. Have the TNT to spare. Yep, there it is. From Vstrid as well. But a little shaky on building it, so hopefully it doesn't eat a blaze spawn in that time. We'll see. That's potentially another thing actually that I just thought about. I was just watching. I know a lot of runners switch out their flint and steel for fire charges because it just stacks better in trades. You don't have to consistently throw out fire charges. The one thing that I always said that's a very minuscule thing, but it's funny, because flint and steel 64 durability, fire charges stacked to 64, so that's very similar. No real like reason you would even need to use it more than like twice anyways, but I always said that you can't fire charge a creeper in the stronghold to get it to insta blow up, but you can flint and steel a creeper, but it's just so irrelevant that it doesn't really matter. But what I just realized is if you're doing blaze TNT, the fire charge won't give you kill credit on the blaze. So if you TNT a blaze on accident with fire charges, it won't have the chance to drop a rod. But if you have flint and steel, it could potentially drop the rod. So that's yet another argument as to why I will keep the flint and steel.
This sounds like post hoc, Feinberg. Sounds like you just like flint and steel. But
well, I did. I definitely was biased going into it, but it is a valid reason that I just figured out.
Yeah.
Fire charge gives kill credit. I could just again be extremely wrong. I thought it was only redstone based things. Maybe I'm wrong. Someone smart in chat has corrected me. Is Automat digging the cords already? Is that on the spawner? It is.
Gives kill credit?
Yeah. Both these runners, I mean, they're digging to second portal cords at the same time. Different paths to the fort, different enters. I spying within 5 seconds. Again. And Automat hits starter this time. Gets that instant preemptive spike.
Boom.
And there's only one way to go off this 4-way, so it could be very easy nav here.
Once again.
Yep, very easy nav. And Vstrid's going to find it, but Automat, it's just ahead. And
he's going to be entering.
Yeah. Vstrid
but
right
there's
behind
a
him,
little bit of stream delay here. Hold on. There's a little bit. Because if you look, they entered like right at the same time.
Oh, Automat had a double pearl clip.
I think they're
Automat can't go for this, or it's all yeah. Automat can't go
Yeah.
for this. He had the double pearl clip with only Ron Flesh to heal. Vstrid completely in the driver's seat now. No bed
actually
break.
not sure if this.
Oh, that looked so early. Oh, the underbed.
Is it good?
Oh my god.
No, it's good. It's good. Oh my god, that scared me, but it's good.
Dude.
Wow.
Dude. Oh,
What a zero.
man. Wow. I cannot believe he got that underbed off. I can't believe that. What a C3. That's crazy. Off the back of Automat missing the pearl clip, having to pearl twice.
Yep.
Dude. That double bed must have been like a tick or two from it not working entirely. I can't believe that.
Look at that. Entered in
Because
within a second
it
of each
seemed
other.
like Vstrid didn't know that the dragon was too low until it like broke the bed and then was able to get the other bed off in time.
Yeah.
That was absurd. And the bed got enough damage off. Look at enter the end within a second of each other. Absurd. Actually crazy.
Excellent stuff there. And yeah, I mean, Vstrid just starting to have a little bit of a comeback here. I will say though, I mean, if you're Automat, you know that every single round has been super close, and you've already won one. So, you know, you just got to take this to a game 5. You got to win this next seed.
Yeah, I don't think either runner can be demotivated with how they're playing. Like, obviously, granted, you want to win the seeds by more than 3 seconds potentially. You want to be entering the end with more than like ticks of wiggle room over the other player, but at some point, you just have two so evenly matched individuals. It's just crazy.
So far, everything has come down to the 0. So if they can just both runners, I want to see a 0 where both runners complete the 0, and we're just waiting
At the
in
same
end
time?
fountain. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see right there.
Did Vstrid not complete the 0 in seed 1? Or did they they have a bed break or something? Because I know Automat pulled through with the triple bed rotations, but it might have broken the bed.
Yeah, the triple that didn't matter for Automat, but
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
cool, you know.
That's true. That's true. Well, we do get to see our seed pick ban for seed 4, which is interesting because we have 5 seeds to choose from. Automat's gonna pick the Desert Temple again, just for fun, or I mean, again, I don't know how much the overworlds tend to really matter, and especially in this matchup specifically, all 3 of these overworlds have been within 5-10 seconds of each other, but he's picking the Desert Temple anyways. It's funny. It's cool. It's low food situation, but that low food situation is exactly what came back to potentially lose him this seed 3 in Nerdy.
Right.
Off of the Pearl Clips, if he had, any sort of food, like a gapple, any sort of cooked food of any kind, could have, pearled up to that 0 tower on half a heart and then quick healed off of that food, but just couldn't get that done with Rotten Flesh. Could not go for that 0.
And here we go.
But maybe he's more confident. Maybe he's more mentally prepared for the low seed or low food seed situation, and we're on the temple. This would get me locked in. Resetting on the wall, lock a seed, visible temple, posture check. That's always when you know it gets real. That's when you know it gets real. When you see something that just makes you sit up in your chair, or like your legs up and you like scoot it in, lock in, zone in more on the monitor. That's what I would be doing in this situation.
Yep.
Or like you enter a nether, you're like lean back in the overworld, insta bastion spike, you're paused, chunks loading, sit up, lock in, get ready.
Lock in Feinberg. For me, it'd be like second phasing a boss. That is really hard.
I feel like you would be the best gamer of all time if you never locked out. If there was never a situation where you would lock out.
I would lock out.
Okay. Funny guy. Oh, funny
No,
guy.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, there are situations where I would lock out. Smaller hops and call, and is like, yo, want to try this new lockout variation? I'm absolutely locking out, Feinberg.
You would lock out? That's fair.
I'm absolutely locking out. That's just gonna happen every day of the week.
That is fair. But most of the time, you do not want to be locked out. And Automat's got to dodge that if he wants to win Seed 4. Send this to what could be the best 5-game series we've ever seen in the playoffs. Did you get self-conscious after reading that chat message and adjust your camera up?
Point. It's a good point. I should fix my posture. I should. It's a good point. It's actually just a good point. I don't know what to say.
There.
Yeah.
Ooh, look at this though. Vstrid grabbing water earlier on the seed, potentially pretty commanding lead in the overworld here as far as this series goes. Solid 10, maybe 12 seconds here. Maybe 15.
Yeah.
Maybe 16.
And that's not what you like to see if you're Automat here, because you have no more room for mistakes, essentially.
And Vstrid spawned on the Bastion. So, no differences in terrain management there. And a little interesting thing, Automat didn't wait to unpause. It's a very disciplined tech, something a lot of people don't necessarily think about. I think a lot of our top runners will be thinking about it, but if you actually wait until I think 8 chunks are loaded is the number before unpausing, it lets these zombie piglins spread out their spawns instantly. But if you unpause right away, it'll start trying to fill up that 70 mob cap with only the chunks that you have loaded. So if you only have 4 or 5 chunks loaded around you, it's going to try to fill those zombie piglins all in that mob cap. And if you get a zombie piglin in the Bastion, it's just GG. Granted, yeah. I think we have the ranked mod setting turned on where zombie piglins don't spawn in the Bastion, so it might not really matter. But we have seen seeds where zombie piglins have wandered into Bastions. It does occasionally mess up some routes. So still good discipline. But I could just be yapping. I don't know. That's okay.
We always appreciate your yapping.
Thank you. Standard treasure from both runners, though, and the fort was spotted by at least Vstrid. I don't know if Automat saw the fort. I don't think it was really that far away or that like sort of hidden.
Okay.
So I think we're gonna be seeing pretty confident travel to the fortress, and that was 2 chests with obsidian. So also should be getting 20. Vstrid on 19. Only 4 pearls though. And I'm not sure how many backups Vstrid's grabbed so far. But 4 pearls, 20 obsidian, enough string, enough for 0, but 4 pearls. 3 pearls because of the pearling. And that's the trades. We're going to have to go lower. And Vstrid's in a double pearling situation potentially. Ooh, saw one trade that he lost. This could get ugly, Nerdy. This double pearling situation. I don't know how far away the first pearl is for Vstrid here. Has to be very safe. And yeah, is this a situation, what people in chat are saying, did Vstrid lose a pearl trade potentially to distraction gold that Automat didn't? Is that a looting sword? Don't tell me it was a looting sword. I think Vstrid grabbed it just because it's a diamond sword. I don't think so. People in chat saying no. Fire aspect. Okay. But yeah, I think Vstrid lost trades to distraction gold and found one trade on the bridge, but it must have just dropped. So because the trades are standardized, that's a trade that Vstrid's not going to get back, and it's an absurd amount of time loss.
Here we go.
Just waiting still for the second or third pearl trade, I should say. There it is. But you're not going to leave on 14 either. You're going to stay for 1 more, 2 more. There it goes.
That is a lot of pearls, but I just don't think the time loss.
If you're a Vstrid enjoyer, you are hoping. I mean, no, Automat's got 16 pearls though. Like, even if you throw 3 or 4, in the nether, it's still going to probably be zeroable. Still
Let's
good
see
food
here.
for both runners as well. At the same spawner now, both of them, but Automat's been here for much longer and has it blaze bedded out already. So not looking good for Vstrid, especially if these runners now continue to play at the same pace that they always have been and are just matched up. Automat's got maybe a minute of a lead, or at least 30 seconds.
And
See.
if you're a Vstrid enjoyer, what you want here is a really far second portal.
You want a far stronghold. You want some eye breaks. You're looking for a lot. You're looking for Automat to not have pearls for the 0. That's the biggest sort of win condition, assuming no mistakes. And that's no eye break, and it's 1,300 away. But he's burning a pearl up to grab this eye. So he's down to 15 pearls total. So he's now got 3 at the most going into the 0. If it's a 0 eye. Again, it could be 1 eye, 2 eye, and we're totally saved. But we'll see. Automat is going to leave. But every pearl he throws, that's 1 pearl. Now only 14 in total. And it's true that he might not know that Vstrid has significantly more pearls. Operating off the information that you think, opponent's playing the same way you are. Automat throws another pearl. And he's got stuff set up for ground 0, but it is slower than a normal 0 cycle. Could give Vstrid the time save that he needs to get back into it.
Breaking the boat, going in here. And yeah, I mean, 0 eye here. So he only has... Does he have any pearls in his inventory? Any extras?
No, this is it. If it's a 0, he has 1 pearl, and it's basically not zeroable. If it's a 1 eye, 2 eye, maybe saves, but it could be caged, could be back tower. Not guaranteed to be zeroable at all for Automat. But he is at cords right now. We'll just have to see Vstrid able to leave, throw maybe more pearls. And Nerdy, Vstrid's heading to a different stronghold.
Oh, wow.
Fully different cords, so...
Bad stronghold could be really bad.
Could get much better terrain, could get different navigations. Well, will get different navigations, but could matter a lot here. Automat sees the portal room in this ravine. How many eyes?
So that's probably not good.
It's a 0 eye. It's going to have to be ground 0. Unless it's amazing terrain, small for a tower, it's not.
Vstrid.
Yeah. Automat's going to have to go for the ground 0. It's back open. Vstrid's going to need 3 pearls, has 6. But it's different nav. That was easy for Automat. Might not be easy for Vstrid. And the ground 0 is being set up, Nerdy, but it takes more time. If Vstrid can crank this 0, start it quickly. It's unclear, but it might be too much time lost already. Is it comebackable? There's the portal room. Has pre-crafted, needs no hunger reset, but it's already circling above the bedrock for Automat. It might be over, but 0 is so fast, especially with crossbow, double beds.
Oh man, these beds.
I think it's over. The ground 0 is not over till it's over. Any bed could be bad. Knock the dragon too far up. But that's got to do it for Automat right there. That does have to do it. Dies above the bedrock. No chance for Vstrid. So close, but 15, 20 seconds of difference. Just didn't save enough time on that different stronghold on the 0. And it's ground versus normal. Ground wins. Too much time save. Heading into the fortress. Didn't lose a pearl trade. That was all the seed came down to. Vstrid just, like I was saying in seed 3 about the distraction gold, ended up actually mattering in seed 4. And Vstrid not able to close it out.
Absolutely phenomenal. Absolute cinema.
And we're going to see a seed 5. Beautiful stuff. Runners keeping us on schedule. Giving us the content series of a lifetime. You're doing cinema?
Yeah.
Who's in that photo? You would know, right?
Martin
Who is that?
Scorsese.
Martin Scorsese. What are films by? You know, I'm not a movie guy.
Goodfellas, Casino, Wolf of Wall Street, Irishman.
How do I not know that, bro? My favorite movie's Cars 2, bro. What do you mean? How do I not know that? Like, be real.
I feel like I feel like most people under 25 would not know that. I think. Yeah, that's my read.
Cars 2 gets too much hate, bro. Nah, you guys are trolling in chat. I'm saying that as a half joke. Like, I don't really actually have a favorite movie, but I just say Cars 2 because Cars 2 gets too much hate. Y'all are mad. Y'all are mad haters, bro. Mater had a fucking role in that movie. That's all I'm saying.
It's a good one, Feinberg. It's a good
Cars 2 is actually a good movie. I'm not saying it's the best movie, but I'm saying that people are like, oh, Cars 1, 10 out of 10. Cars 3, 10 out of 10. Cars 2,
I agree with. That
1 out of 10. Like, you have to be stupid.
My hot take is that the Cars franchise is just the worst of Pixar. So I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but that's the real take.
Dude's putting A Bug's Life over Cars. Like, be real. Cut it over to Fulham, bro. I can't.
Since I was 4.
I can't. A Bug's Life? Are you kidding? That's crazy.
Dude,
it's more Mickey Mouse movie than the shit they show on Disney Channel. That's all I'm saying.
Ratatouille, Incredibles. They're not
are potentially better than Cars. I'll keep it open. I'll keep the door open. But you can't say Cars is the worst franchise when A Bug's Life exists.
Okay,
like,
I'm not. Okay, sorry. I'm saying out of the ones that people regularly bring up.
There's a reason why no one brings up A Bug's Life. That's all I'm saying.
I love that.
Call me a Bug's Life hater. Call me a Bug's Life hater.
Yeah, Wally's easily top 3 too. Wally's easily top 3.
Yes. Is there even more than one? Is there even more than one A Bug's Life movie? A Bug's Life. I gotta Google this. Is there even more than one?
I love that. I
don't think so. Right?
Chat is spamming L's and half of them are spamming W's. I think more L's than W's, but
no.
I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. That was
you did say series though. Bug's Life is not a series. It is one movie.
Yeah, compared to.
But you can't use the argument only one because it sucks. Because then you have Wall-E. So I don't know. I'm big.
Big Reddit.
All right, Nerdy, we successfully stalled enough for the full analysis segment. Had to get the god tier clips from the last 2 seeds. We're gonna be able to watch those zeros in action again. Potentially where those pearl trades got lost. Gonna throw it over to Fulham, and we'll see you guys back here for the first game 5 of the season 5 playoffs, and potentially one of the best series we've ever seen in all 5 seasons. But we'll see what Fulham has to say, and we'll be back in just a second.
Thanks for stalling for me, guys, after yapping it up about Bug's Life and Cars, man. I've been sitting here waiting for 2 minutes with these clips already. Like, hello? These guys trying to pretend like they're stalling for me. Jesus. Anyway, let's get on with the analysis. It is 2 seeds apiece. Something that we have not seen so far in the ranked tournament. And there was very little to analyze in this first seed. It was a lot closer than the previous seed, with both runners getting to the leaving the bastion at a very similar time. But notice, Vstrid found this sneaky little hole in the terrain to enter the fortress earlier. Unfortunately, he didn't find a spawner particularly sooner because of this terrain decision. But spotting this little hole here, just a really nice little clean thing that I wanted to pick up. It was nice and heads up. Obviously, the terrain does open out. And in fact, I think Matt might have even made the spawner first just by entering at a different location. But I thought that was a really nice thing to pick up on Vstrid using F5 to be able to give him a whole new perspective on things. The next clip that I had to mention was something that I don't think the commentators noticed. These 2 runners built at a slightly different location. So the measurements were ever so slightly different between these 2 runners. And notice that after Automat goes through his portal here and measures his eye, he's actually only... he believes he may be 1,800 blocks away. Has to throw a second here. You can see the numbers down here, 1,800, and there's a 5% chance that he's 200 blocks away. On the second eye measurement, however, he does in fact get that 100% of 215 blocks away. Now, Vstrid was closer to 400 blocks, and I believe that was just by putting their first portal in a different location. But in fact, this meant that Automat had to hit a portal break to be able to double travel. Something that I don't think the commentators quite realized. So notice here that he does the perfect jump timing, and as soon as he teleports through the portal, I was duly informed that this is not a tick-perfect trick. In fact, there's around 3 or 4 ticks of leeway by chat. Thank you very much for that yesterday. I really appreciated it and needed to know. All that matters is it's a goddamn hard trick to do. After a certain number of jumps, he's able to perfectly time when to place that bucket, such that he's able to teleport into the nether, but breaking that overworld portal so that a different portal can be generated inside the stronghold. Due to the proximity of the 2 portals, if he was to try and build his second portal to hit the stronghold, it would teleport him back to his blind portal, which is not particularly useful. He's able to do that and keep the seed very close, but unfortunately just didn't have the food to be able to hit this 0. So instead it goes for the backup ground 0, while Vstrid was able to take advantage of this cooked mutton, get some healing up on this extra rotation here, allowing him to hit a very clean and easy 0 cycle in hindsight. This 1 in 8... Sorry, correction. I mixed up the 2 seeds here. Clean and easy would be something, a word that you could describe this 0 cycle if you are, I don't know, Rainex, when he does all these crazy setups. This low bed is not either clean or easy. Let's just run that one back real quick. Whew. There's a lot of clips I have to analyze on this, and somehow he's able to place this underbed. I completely forgot that this even happened. What an insane, insane heads-up play here. Noticing that this bed was slightly too early, but noticing it just before the dragon breaks this bed, placing an underbed and placing a block before the dragon destroys this bed, detonating it late enough to give it enough knockback such that the dragon is able to retain its rotation and then hit some top beds as well. A lot of beds were able to be used here, and Vstrid used them expertly, and that double bed right at the end there just to shore things up. Comfortably finishing off this seed, making it 2 seeds to 1 in this tournament. And it was match point for Vstrid going into this final game. Vstrid had the opportunity to finish things out here, but a few mistakes crept into the early game. Let's talk about this Bastion route here. We have the treasure jumping over, and we can notice that Vstrid is heavily in the lead here, entering the treasure and starting the route before Automat even enters the nether. However, the offhand, unfortunately, not going to plan here, as the gold block is placed in a spot that should not be, that's pretty abnormal. This allows your pigs to come up here, actually hitting you through this corner, and as we see here, Vstrid finds himself in a little bit of a tricky spot, kind of a little bit stun-locked, not sure what to do, decides to right-click 1 gold here, drops that, mines out the gold block, one of the piglins then picks that up, angering other piglins, which are able to come down this bit of terrain and drop onto you on this bridge. As we can see in the next portion of this route here, gonna eat real fast, but we can see these pigs dropping down onto this side terrain, and having to use a few gold here just to distract them. This not only means fewer pigs inside the Bastion trading hall, but also a couple of missed trades, which is something that does come back to bite Vstrid, forcing him to go for the lower treasure that we see right here. Having to mine up these lower treasure blocks is definitely less than ideal, definitely a bit of a time loss, and is able to, with the double pearl hang, still expertly only increase the render to a maximum of 4 to ensure that the further pearl does not land. After trading the rest of this gold, we're waiting for like a minute or so here, maybe 1 minute to go and grab all of the gold and to get enough pearl trades to finish off the run. However, with this extra pearls, Vstrid is able to 0, but fortunately for Matt, the time advance that he was able to finish off this seed in a very nice ground 0 fashion using pearls to get to the second portal, but not having enough pearls to zero cycle, which is something that Vstrid was able to do. As we can see, old Betsy coming out for the crossbow zero, but the dragon is dead on Automat's screen. And I thought I'd give a little prediction before this fourth and final seed, because I really wanted to see a seed 5, so that I could come back and give you guys a little bit of extra analysis. I did predict the 10-22 Automat win here. Just going to put that out there. Vstrid did not believe. Vstrid truly thought that they would get that 3-1. But it is going to go to a seed 5. And will Vstrid be able to see out the 3-2? Or will Automat have a great comeback and a brilliant villain arc from the previous season? Let's see what happens next. I'm going to send you guys back to Nerdy and Feinberg to see this seed 5.
I just hope it's close. Like we're on pace to like have the best 5 games we might possibly have ever had in the playoffs, and I just hope it's close. It's like this is a bad comparison. It's just because I've been playing so much Valorant off stream. But it's like you have a crazy Valorant clip, like a round. It's like you're online for the ace, like headshot, 180 flick headshot, pre-fire through a wall, crazy updraft headshot, and then the 5th kill, 5v1, full whiff. Someone pistol whips you with a classic, and then it's like, well, do you upload the clip online? And it just like cuts in the 5v1, and then everyone's like, why didn't you upload the full thing? And then you can't say anything because it's like, oh, it's like we need to close it out. You know, you need to close out the series. That's all I want to see. Just close it out.
I understand. Personally,
I'm glad.
I'm just hoping for, Game of Thrones season 1 through 5, and not, what if we've already gone through all that and now we're on season 8? That's what I'm worried about here.
Did they switch writers in that show? I don't watch TV.
So the lore,
it's just terrible.
Well, it's like it was based on the books, the Game of Thrones books, and then that guy just took, like, he's still writing the books. It's very funny.
Oh yeah, J.R.R. Tolkien.
No.
Or George R. R. Martin. Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay.
Put it on the seed selection screen. Yeah.
But yeah.
Put it on the seed selection.
I'm hoping we're going off the books. So that's my point.
Turn the ball off. Fuck, man. Shit, man, that was bad. Okay, we're. Oh my god, we're playing a room portal, man.
George R.R.
Oh
Tolkien.
my god, that was so. I said J.R.R. Tolkien. That's what I said. Holy, that was bad. All good though. All good. Room portal, seed 5, and like I said, we just gotta close out the series. It's just gotta be. We're on pace. Best series, best 5-game series, and we're in round 2, Nerdy. We're not even in the second weekend of playoffs.
Yeah.
And there we go. Room portal seed 5. Vstrid picking what they picked in seed 2. Again, I don't think any of these overworlds have really had significant impact on any of these seeds except for potentially seed 3, but that's more like a food management issue in the Nether, I would say. But
sure.
I guess like you pick what you're more confident in,
Posture check. I have been trying to work on my posture. I've been trying to work on it. So
you haven't?
I appreciate.
Oh my god, is this another ugly one? Oh, this is another brutally ugly room portal. Oh my god, they don't even. Oh my god, they don't even have an iron pickaxe. We're making the runners work for the last seed. They don't even have an iron pick. 51 iron, not going to be 6, or 51 nuggets, not going to be 6 iron ingots worth of iron. This is one of those seeds that you open the chest and you hit the seed change button, and then your opponent just accepts. And if they don't accept, you're like, oh my god, this guy's weird.
Yeah.
But you can't see change. We're in the playoffs. They got to run it. I guess they have food. And the only real notable difference here, Automat crafted shears. Vstrid didn't. Now, every Bastion is guaranteed to have 3 iron in a chest.
Sure.
But is that chest going to be the first one you check? Or is the first chest you check going to have 3 iron nuggets only, and then now Vstrid can make an iron pickaxe and Automat can't. What sort of situation are we going to be in here?
That's a very good question. I mean, I don't know. I feel like this is like one of those things where you can just do like the I don't know. You'd have to like calculate the odds to know who's correct here. But the blocks are definitely good from Automat.
Ooh, Vstrid. I'll be a little too low. There's a little bit of time on the portal, but is ahead. Automat just has a ton more blocks, and look at no Bastion Spike yet. No Bastion Spike yet. It's so far. Wow.
What is this,
That could be bad news for Vstrid enjoyers. Automat's got a stack of blocks to work with. Vstrid has a gold pick, but it's the only pickaxe, so you can burn through some netherrack, but then you have no freedom in the Bastion to screw around with anything.
Wow.
Automat might make up a lot of time.
Luckily, they all have food. The 9 golden carrots, I mean, that's just going to be super nice in a bad nether.
Yeah, but look, Automat's able to build over this soul sand like crazy. Vstrid's got to take some suboptimal lines, use some wood. Both runners heading to the same spot, though, so neither runner getting trolled by the E-rate being so far away. This must be a max distance rank Bastion. Like, what a final seed for this best of 5.
And it looks like, is that triple? Oh boy. Wait, is that
at least double triple disconnected? Saw this in Danny versus Oxy yesterday. Disconnected double triple. Again, Automat's gonna need 3 iron from a chest. Vstrid only gonna need 3 nuggets. Very different situation here. I guess Automat only needs 2.5. First chest, nothing for Vstrid. Automat on the right triple, nothing for Vstrid here on the left triple. Potential RNG in the favor of Automat. No iron here though, and it's in the single at the top of this double. So I don't know a better way to say that. But Vstrid finds it first, gets the iron pickaxe. Automat will head here next and find the 3 iron in that chest. So it's there. But Vstrid a little ahead into the Bastion.
Yep. Those blocks didn't seem to save Automat too much time. Or at least
maybe it save time, but just not enough from what the overworld, the overworld downside of spending more time getting the blocks. Ooh, Vstrid, weird situation here. Are we gonna play triple to gap? No guarantee there's a gap on the seed. I don't know if he saw one and is committing to this. Must have though. Very confident. No gap. No gap. So many pigs. No gap. Oh no.
What?
Up.
Just gonna run through. Wow, okay.
Through. And then how do you commit these pigs over? 3 hearts. Benex hole.
Okay. We can make this work. We can make this work.
We have to make it work.
And there's no more. Oh, he's got payloads on him. This is a disaster. A nightmare situation.
Big escape. And we're good. Wow.
I mean, we're good, but this is just time loss.
It is a lot of time loss. I think Vstrid maybe thought there must have needed to be a gap, but ranked only filters for at least 1 gap or at least 2 triples. So hit the 1 and 4 that no natural gap spawn wasn't filtered for, as there's already 2 triples in the seed. And an insane amount of time loss for Vstrid. It was savable, Nerdy, but like you said, at what cost to the time? At what cost to the pace?
Meanwhile, Automat's just figuring out where the fortress is.
Yeah, and Vstrid honestly saved this very well. Oh, so many picks still. Lucky that the damage isn't really going to matter. Still 7 golden carrots.
True.
Automat's on 6. Somehow has taken more damage this seed. I don't know how.
I mean, he does have a lot of piglins, to be fair, for Vstrid. I mean...
Yeah, could potentially even be out of this Bastion almost quicker. Because what was able to get, like, ironically, a lot of those gap piglins because he went down and then all the way back up. Both runners cranking the Pyre. Automat a little confused, but finds it. Is he leaving off of this, though? Or does he still need more trades? That's not a pro hang. He's leaving. But Vstrid gone as well. And Automat 2 pearls on the fort. Vstrid sees the fort as well.
There we go.
So trading different places where Bastion was time loss for both runners, and they're both here. Same time. Few seconds. Automat aggressively proing to the spawner. Vstrid, I think, finding a different spawner. No. Same open spawner here.
Yeah. And
No, Automat is playing a second spawner, though, as I say that. Moved over to a more enclosed spawner,
now,
but still relatively open.
Yeah, it's pretty open now.
Yeah.
But there's still kind of an enclosure.
It was
around
enclosed on the roof, which maybe sped up the blaze bed by like half a second, but didn't matter too much. And these runners are different spawners, but I think I'm not the one who coded ranked, but I'm pretty sure that the spawner cycles are still standardized even if you're at different spawners. I think it just depends on when, like how many spawners you've triggered in general, not necessarily where they are.
Sure. That does make sense.
So I think we will be seeing very similar spawn rates, spawn timings in these situations. So still unclear though, who's ahead, who's behind. 7 beds for Vstrid, craftable. Only has the wood for 5. There's Crimson Tree right there if he's aware. Automat has 6 beds crafted. And both runners blinding. Automat on 5 rods though, Vstrid on 3. Big for Automat fans. Gets the one eye. He throws a second one though. On 100% accuracy, he's throwing 2.
Wow.
And it didn't break, but it's time loss. Vstrid throwing 2 as well though. And Automat, I thought had 5 rods. Automat has 6.
The Automat's ready to go.
Automat's going. Saved so much time in this fort, somehow played 2 spawners. That might have been the time save.
Yeah.
If Vstrid is just, 3 blazes away, 3 rods in a row, that could be all the time save. Automat's already going. Pulling so far ahead in this seed.
Yeah. And could this be the chance for redemption for Automat? As we know, got eliminated by Vstrid last time.
In a 3-0, might I add, and has already sent it to game 5. Oh, Vstrid needs 1 more rod as well.
And here we go. Automat's building the portal.
Vstrid has to wait for 1 more cycle. If it's this blaze, that's going to be so bad. That wasn't. But Vstrid's going. Automat in the stronghold is in starter. Gets a spike. There it is. Only so many ways you can go off this 4-way. It might just be down those stairs to the right.
Is that it?
It is.
That is it.
He's there.
And he's ready.
And if he hits the 0, it might be over. Vstrid building to chords, but might just be too late. Front 1 and 8. Maybe. Pushing Y96 here.
Building with Obby.
Ooh, build Obby. That's a little bit of a stutter step. And pushing 96 here might matter time-wise. But he gets there with a rotation to spare.
Wow.
And it's a good first bed. We saw Vstrid have height issues in the situation, but Automat managing the KB well.
Wow.
That might be over. Finishing it off with a double bed. Has 1 anchor left, but gets it done. Free the end advancement as well. Vstrid knows in chat that it's over. And Automat gets his revenge from Season 4.
Absolute
That's
cinema.
the end of our best of 5. Automat gets it done.
Absolute cinema.
Not much more to say. Not as close of a seed as the first 4, but Vstrid still kept it close, was zeroing as Automat ended, but it's so weird, so close into the fortress, and then Automat pulling ahead by 30, 40 seconds there, just maybe hitting that 1 spawner and blaze betting the different spawner, like just having 1 extra cycle on Vstrid might have been all the difference. Being able to get that cycle early, not having to wait for 1 extra at that spawner.
Right.
Because I really didn't see strays for either runner. So that must have just been what it was. What the situation was. But wow,
Absolutely fantastic.
what a best of 5.
Yeah, I mean, that was just we couldn't have asked for any more, really, I would say. I mean, like at the end of the day, I feel like that was just phenomenal play by both runners, honestly. And, Automat taking the win, getting the revenge from last season, but also Vstrid just playing really well throughout, making that a very, very close match in all 5 seeds, right? I mean, any game 5 we got to be grateful for, but that was special.
That was a beautiful 5-game series. First series to go to game 5 of our playoffs so far. And hopefully we see more today, Nerdy. That was great.